What is up, everyone? J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Welcome. This is kind of a mix of things that we're going to be talking about. Kind of a hype video, doing some last-minute news, and I'm not usually one to start rumors, but I've got a feeling something's going to happen tonight. And I'll save that for last because it's the least important, and it may not come true, but it's something I'm kind of hoping for. But like I said, we'll get to that in a bit. So Impact Wrestling's redemption is in a few short hours, and we already talked about the card. But within the last few hours, Impact Wrestling has been putting on their social media on Twitter. They've been showing pictures. Well, first of all, they put out a tweet 3 hours ago. It says, "So we've heard you'd like to see some new title belts." And it's like, oh, that's one thing that they said back in January or February. I've talked about this a little bit, saying that they were shooting for getting the new belts out around the time of WrestleMania weekend or WrestleCon weekend. I was hoping they were going to do it at the crossover date, but honestly, this show is probably the most appropriate to do it at. And the company's been going through a lot of changes, but over the course of the last 6 months, I'd say most of the changes, minus some, people leaving, most of the changes have been positive. They've been slowly, fans have been one by one coming back, and I've been watching faithfully. What's up, Styles? Styles is in the chat. How you doing this weekend, sir? You gonna be watching tonight? I know I am. So yes, like Styles says in the chat, new tag titles. And let me tell you, they look pretty sweet. If I knew how to do I don't think I can. Can I do a? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I was going to do a screen share thing, but I don't want to screw up my video and then knocking it back. So we're not going to do that. Yeah, when I get more brave sometime, I'll do that. But anyways, you can go on their Twitter. You can go on their Twitter and check out the new belts. I like them. I think they look slick. They look like they're silver and bluish. They've had these color schemes lately. They've had all sorts of different color schemes over the last couple of years, but they're back to their, Impact Wrestling. They've gotten away from the GFW stuff. I dug the green stuff, but looks like they got new tag belts. They also, within the last few minutes, put up pictures of new X Division championship, or it's a belt, excuse me, not belts. It's a couple of pictures. What's funny is when you first look at the belt, it almost looks like it says X-Pac, but it's just how the lighting is shining off the belt. But yeah, new X Division belt. So that means Aries is going to get a new belt tonight. Well, I'm assuming he's going to. Well, he's either going to come out with it. These guys are going to come out with it, or they're going to be presented it's going to be presented in the ring as in a, okay, this is up for grabs tonight, kind of deal. So either way, we're getting new belts tonight. So we got the tag belts. We got the X Division. And then we'll also get the Impact World Championship. And then they're getting away from the whole global thing, because for a while they were also calling it global. So that is very cool. Another thing that they are another thing that they'll be doing is making some changes to the set. Some pictures right before they started releasing pictures of the championship belts. They put out some people that are there early are putting out pictures of what the set looks like, and it looks slick. I like it. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell everything, but I like it. It's, man, I mean, the Impact Zone has really gone through a lot of changes over the years. I remember back when it first started, it was, they've done everything and anything. So lots of changes coming tonight, and that's really refreshing. And it's also really exciting. This company has evolved. It's gone from the lowest of lows within the last couple of years to frustration inside the company. I mean, and it's like, people report that like it's the only place where that happens. Well, folks, this is professional wrestling. There's little, wrestling circuses going all over the place. And that's kind of how I've come to like kind of recognize it is like, Vince has his circus, Impact has their circus, and there's all these other little circuses popping up all over the place, trying to make, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that. I was going to say the greatest show on earth. I don't know who has the rights to that one. I don't know if it's Kiss or whoever, but anyways, everyone's just trying to put on a good show, entertain the folks. And that's what it's all about, and it's Impact Wrestling is one by one been trying to prove themselves to the wrestling fans and to make it a better place to work, bring in new exciting talent, and continue to do these talent exchanges, working with independent companies, working with AAA, Lucha Underground, Japan, Noah, along with all these other little growing independents across the country. And there's one that's going on next week. I forget where it's for, but it's going to be a house show, and it's going to be on their Twitch channel. That's so exciting. So like, there's going to be some Impact guys there, some other local Impact or some local independent guys on this show. It's on their timeline. I forgot who it was, but I saw that. It's Pro Wrestling Revolver. I don't know if that's Sammy's company. I'm not sure. That's one that travels around a little bit too. But I can't remember who I saw was on it. You just got to go look it up. It's Pro Wrestling Revolver. But they got a show coming up next weekend that's going to be on Twitch, and it's a combo show with Impact. So yeah, go check that out. I might be talking about that more as the show comes up closer as far as who's on it. I can't remember who's on it, but I remember when I saw part of the card, I was like, I wish I could go to that, because I was excited about. Anyways, that's just me being old and senile. Sorry. So yeah, new championship belts, new stage setup, new look. Really exciting. So, and I can't say too much more about that other than I don't know if we're doing away with the Grand Championship. That belt kind of seems like the belt that's been kind of like floating around and getting weird storylines with it between Seidel giving it to Matthews, which was hilarious. I know there was a lot of people scratching their heads with that, including me. And then Aries beating him for it, taking it. I don't know. That's the one I don't think he travels with. I could be wrong. So we'll see. I don't know if that one's up in the air or what. Well, I'm sure we're going to find out tonight and or very soon during the new set of tapings that's coming this week. Now, I want to talk about something. And I don't usually I like to talk about stuff when I'm speculating that something is going to happen, or if there's hype, or if there's little things going on. So I'm going to bring this up, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's guaranteed this and this and this and this guy's going to show up and this is all going to happen. No, this is pure speculation. Don't hate on me for it, but I feel like this is important enough to bring up because I saw this happen the other night and I was like, We know how Conan has been popping up all over the place lately. He's got his LAX in Impact. He's been working with Aero Lucha. That's besides the fact. That's not what I'm talking about. But he's also been working with a new, we'll say, stable that's been popping up in Mexico. This show, that show, over the last, I'd say, couple months. And it's Juventud Guerrera. And if you're old school like me, you remember him from like the old WCW days, or his cup of coffee that he did with the WWE as leader of the Mexicools. Oh man, I know that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I liked it, but then you grow older and you realize how like horribly racist that is, and it's like, oh god. So yes, that Juvi. Who else is in this? And this was a shocker because I kind of thought she'd be blackballed and no one would be working with her no more. But Sexy Star, so she's appeared at a few places, but I don't know where else. I don't know if she's still with this group or not. So that one's kind of I don't know, because I know she has kind of a bad rep because of what she did over the last, we'll say, half year between AAA and other places. Who else? Oh, Kevin Cross. And I've talked about him a lot on here. Rising up in the ranks in the independent scene out in California, and also Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore. He was Mav Pro champion. And he just lost that one. He was also FSW champion for like almost 2 years. He was also in AAA as Johnny Mundo's muscle with Taya in that little faction. Who else? Oh, there's a couple others, and I can't remember. But this group was going from shows in Mexico, this place, that place, down, all these different places south of the border popping up, and just destroying like the roster and stuff like that, kind of coming in kind of like the Shield. Okay, for like just for a quick comparison, you could say kind of like guerrilla style, like the Shield, or like NWO style, coming in roughing up people and really making a presence. Well, a couple nights ago in AAA, they had a big show. Don't ask me the name of it. It was just on their Twitch. And I heard about it, and it was one of those where you had to watch it live. If you're not subbed, I'm not subbed to them. Because I was going to watch the replay the next day and couldn't. And I was like, But all over Twitter, I was seeing announcements about this group called MAD, and it's Conan's group, what I'm talking about, popped up in AAA with some faces that haven't been there for several years, that had, now I don't know the whole backstory, but some of these names apparently had burned bridges and whatever. It's Kevin Cross, Teddy Hart, and Hoovy. And Conan's running it. I don't think Conan was there, but he was in the promo that came out when these guys came out. And completely tore up the champ, Wagner. And it looks like Hoovy is like, he like cut the promo, Kevin Cross. Now, he was a little banged up recently, so I don't know, at the House of Hardcore show a couple weeks ago, so I don't know how much physically he's really going to be doing as far as wrestling and whatever. But, they came in, freaked everyone out. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart's back in AAA. Hoovy's back in AAA. Kevin Cross made such a name for himself in AAA last year, then all of a sudden disappeared. I mean, he destroyed the entire roster night after night in AAA, but then disappeared. Nothing happened. Well, now he's back. Conan's running it. And apparently, from the video footage I saw, the little bit I did see, Teddy Hart went up to the announce desk and was talking to the guys at the table. And he was yelling at him. Hoovy was yelling at him. I don't think Cross said anything. But Teddy Hart says, yeah, and Jack Evans is coming too. So apparently Jack Evans is also coming back to AAA and is going to be a part of this. That still remains to be seen. But, so my point of all this is that, so this happened a couple nights in AAA, okay? Who's to say these guys, because Teddy Hart worked for Impact at the crossover event with Big Papa Pump in a tag against, I don't remember who. That card was so loaded. But anyways, my point is, Teddy Hart's back with Impact Wrestling. He's not booked for this redemption event. I don't know if he's actually a part of the roster or if he's just, I don't know what his deal is. But if they're looking to really shake things up tonight at this, the card itself, great card. We talked about it, covered it, top to bottom. They just added a new one within the last day or so. Taya versus Kiera Hogan. Another women's match added to the card. Can't wait to see that. Love Taya, love Kiera Hogan. Some great women talent. So is the big question is, and like I said, this, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if something big is going to happen, it should happen tonight. and really just wow everyone with this. Is Conan going to possibly expand LAX with this new group? Or is he going to turn on LAX? Oh, excuse me. Turn on Ortiz and Santana. Santana and Ortiz, the two guys holding the tag team championships in Impact. Turn on them, mess up LAX, or just desert them and bring in this new group that's called MAD, M-A-D. I guess they're mad. And bring in Teddy Hart, Hoovy, and Kevin Cross. I've been saying Kevin Cross has got to join Impact for a while. I don't know. He's supposed to be with Lucha Underground. I haven't heard if he's part of season 4 yet. But anyways, that's besides the fact. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is Conan bringing this group that invaded AAA a couple nights ago to the Impact Zone tonight, raising hell, tearing up the place? Hey, we'll say worst case scenario. He brings them in. They screw up the main event, which would be a shame because I'm really looking forward to Aries, Pentagon, and Phoenix. But say Bad comes down, tosses everyone around, and then because everyone's so beat up from this attack, Eli Drake comes down with this other briefcase, cashes in, and pins Aries and becomes champ at the end of the night. If that happens, I never, you know me, folks, my predictions are usually like way off. WrestleMania, I had like 3 out of 14 right. It was ridiculous. I should just stop doing predictions after that. It's horrible. But if this happens, and like I said, if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I got a feeling, folks. That's why I'm on here talking about it. I hope they do something big and shake it up. But if it doesn't, whatever. So that's my 2 cents. Just Conan bringing in a whole new faction to shake up the whole company. That'd be pretty badass. And tonight would be a great night to do it. So we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, the card looks great. Can't wait for it. I will be reviewing it either tonight or tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, can't wait. And let me know what you thought of my ideas. Let me know what you think of the belts. The belts look great. New set looks pretty badass. So all these little pinpoint things we're talking about. And show starts in a few hours. We'll see you then. Have a good one. I'll be tweeting along tonight in good old Twitterville. All right, have a good one, folks. Thanks for watching.